Yo,
What?
yo, wake up! I did the research, and I turned it into a portable core for armors and possibly weapons. Just don't activate it. It can cause a part of my dimension to erase, like let's just say a corner of it, and it will also cause a bit of this dimension to explode.
But what happens if
But-
what happens if your dimension gets erased?
That will mean that all of me will get erased and everything in your dimension will be turned back to normal before we met. And
That means I wouldn't even be a knight right now.
I mean, you would still be a knight, but the thing is that you will forgot that I have even existed. And the problem with that is if the core goes critical again, like it did in my world, my dimension will be erased. And let's say that part of your dimension will also be damaged a lot, causing you to probably evacuate to the third dimension, which will be created from my dimension and a bit of your dimension.
So it's
It will
like a
basically
mix.
be, yes, basically that.
Okay.
The core will initiate a thing called Z-Tax. The thing called Z-Tax is that it's gonna grab two realities and just cause them to collide very, very slowly until it forms this big dimension that I will call the third dimension.
Okay.
And with the
Wait,
power of this core,
where did my
we
computer
can-
go?
Oh yeah, I just stored it in my watch. I have an ancient watch, okay? You can do a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give it to you back. But this core, we can use this to build armor and weapons to stop the core from causing the third Z-Tax. Got it? The second dimension was created from my first dimension, but this dimension, meaning that it didn't use two dimensions, but it only used one, creating a mini Z-Tax. But the third Z-Tax will be big, and it can possibly burn all of the dimensions from the big impact that it causes.
Okay.
So yeah. Alright, so we are here in this place. And this is the place where we are gonna store all of our cores.
Okay.
So we can build something to possibly stop the core.
Okay.
But what yeah, actually. So I was thinking we could maybe build something, a weapon. And let me show you a little bit of the things that actually were from my first dimension.
Hey, that is the place where we first met.
Oh yeah. I still won't forgive you for when you threw that shield at my eyeball.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I can't even remember what you threw at my eye. But as you can see up there, that was in my first dimension. I believe that's the only clue to when my first dimension exists.
Huh.
We traveled to my first dimension and we saw one of those on a tree. And I'm sure you know the rest.
Hey, by the way, I
But
think we
yeah.
need to go back into that haunted mansion because back in the day I had some unfinished business back there also.
What kind of business?
So you know when you got those blue cords, I need the red cords because like yeah, it could destroy me this world right now, my dimension basically.
No. The red cores are the ones that will not explode. The blue ones have been corrupted. The blue ones are basically mini dimensions, and the red ones and blue ones have merged together, which is basically a mini Z-Tex. But yeah,
Huh.
that's what's
Crazy.
causing. And if a lot of mini Z-Texes collide, all of them could collide, causing the third Z-Tex.
The third Z-Tex. Huh. That's kind of crazy,
Yeah.
actually.
So yeah, I'm just currently looking around because I have not had a lot of time to actually look around here. But I'm pretty sure there are 3 things we need to create. Actually, 3 things we need to create the weapon to make sure that the core doesn't make many Z-Texes, which will cause a world-destroying destruction.
Wait, you said
Yippee.
that one tree with that plank over there is from your dimension? Doesn't that mean a little
Yeah,
bit of your
that's...
dimension is in my dimension?
Yeah, such as these trees, some of them actually. Such as that tree over there, but yeah.
Huh.
I kind of actually remember that tree. It actually used to be my base, actually. I used to do a ton of research, watch the birds, just chill alone, and often I'd see some people walk by because, I mean, the population was not that big back then, so I just saw a little bit of people, not a lot.
Okay.
But yeah, I believe that what we need from the forest is one of those eggs that actually was added in my dimension. We need one of those. And we also need one thing from that. I believe it is a lava cube. And I also believe we need one thing from there, which is a piece of uranium. And then we could create
So a
the
lot of those,
weapon to
so a lot of those that you just said, the egg and the lava block and the uranium, you need all of those.
Yeah, to create a mass. A mass
Okay.
that can destroy the core and stop all of this from happening. And I can also see a little bit that green thing is the thing that's gonna cause the third Z-Tex. It is the beginning of a Z-Tex.
Oh,
So I'm pretty
shit.
sure it's actually the beginning of a Z-Tex, so it's pretty... We have a lot of time, actually. I'd say like a couple days, actually, to do this.
Okay. Wait, like you can see that white line in that green between those green things, right? Is that like the
Yeah.
opening for the third Z-Tax?
I mean, it's when the Z-Tex actually starts.
Okay.
But the white one is my dimension. The green is your dimension.
So, our dimensions are like a little bit of colliding.
Yes, and if it all collides, we will be submerged and teleported into the third dimension. We are even lucky that your current dimension hasn't suddenly burned or blown up because it's very randomized. Most of the time it fails, so we need to stop the third dimension from happening, or if we don't have enough time, we could take the risk and let it happen.
Shit.
But I will try my best to protect your dimension.
Okay.